Now look, bro, I don't care who you think you are, but you're starting from level 1. Why? Because we're all in this together. We're all in the self-improvement adventure. We're all trying to be him. So we don't want to just satisfy our ego and feed it or whatever bullshit like that. We want to stay honest and true to ourselves, because I guarantee you, no matter how great you think you are, you're probably not that great. So starting from now on, you're level 0. Now, the system only has 3 simple parts to it. The first part is the daily quests. These quests will be things to increase your intelligence, discipline, strength, explosiveness and agility, money, and finally, stamina. Now, we also have pause quests, which is basically an adventure or a challenge that you gotta do once every 3 days or maximum once every week. We do this to spice things up and also give ourselves a sense of pride. Now, we also have streaks to utilize the winner effect, which according to the winner effect, it states that the more you win, the more you're likely to win. And I'm adding streaks so that you can be aware of your win. Now, I'm also adding penalties to the system. The reason that I'm doing this is because you are more likely to do whatever you want if you're scared. If something.
Jordan Peterson talks about a study where they starve a rat and they put it into a tube. They waft the smell of cheese in from the front, and there's a spring attached to the rat's tail so they can work out how hard it's pulling. How hard it's pulling is a proxy for desire, for how much it wants it. And you'd think this rat is starving, it's going to pull as hard as it can. So they waft the smell of cheese in and it runs towards it and whatever. They do another iteration of the study. This time they waft the smell of cheese in from the front and the smell of a cat in from behind.
Yeah.
It pulls harder.
Yeah.
Why? Because not only in life do you want to run towards something you want, but you want to run away from something that you fear. And this ties into the 3 most common traits of very successful people: superiority complex, massive crippling insufficiency, and impulse control. So superiority complex, I can achieve this thing, that's the cheese. Crippling sense of insufficiency, I fear the cat. Impulse control, I'm in a tube. There is only one direction that I can go. I don't need to make.
Now, I tried to make my penalty a plank, for example, but I realized that it doesn't really traumatize me much. The point of the penalty is whenever your brain thinks about doing something wrong, you remember the penalty and your body goes like, hell no, we're not dealing with this. So what we're doing with the penalties is we're either getting punched as hard as possible, and don't worry, but it's not really that dangerous. And if you're too scared, you could put on gloves. Now, the other thing that you could do is eating those really hot chilies, bro. The ones that if you're too old and you eat them, you might go to a hospital, that shit. Trust me, bro, this is worth it. Now, when you're creating this system, you should pull up a paper and pen and make this look as nice as possible. Also, you might be asking, how do you level? Now, in order for you to level up by 1 level, what you need to do is finish all your quests, and then you gain 1 point. You need 10 points to increase all of your levels by 1. Now, you could tell that this is a pretty long-term thing, because it will take you over 3 years to get to level 99 if you do this. Now, how do you actually... So I actually get into the daily quests that you should do in order to ascend. Starting off with stamina. Now, for stamina, what you should do is run at least twice a week at 10 minutes. And if it starts getting too easy, you could do 2 things. First thing is increasing the time that you're running for. Second thing is increasing the speed. But we want this to be like cardiovascular training. So don't go too fast to the point where you have to stutter in order for you to talk. Go a little bit below that. When it comes to intelligence, what you should be doing is, if you have school, for example, you should study for at least 30 minutes every single day, and then read a book for 20 minutes every single day. Now, make sure that this is deep work and not just some shallow work that is kind of useless, because when it comes to deep work, it's better for you to do 30 minutes of deep work than 60 minutes. So practice your deep work. And if this is too hard for you because your attention span is spot, you could borrow this and then move it upwards. Now, I have a tip for when it comes to studying plus 2 based on studies. The way that you should be studying plus 2 is not pulling out the notes, topics, or textbooks and then like studying them and memorizing or whatever. The way that you should be doing it is by doing practice tests online. It's the best way. And then if you don't have the answers to the practice questions, then go on YouTube, watch 2 or 3 videos for it. If you can't get the answer, then consult a friend or teacher. Now, some of you guys might find this a bit too hard. There's a reason why it's difficult. It's difficult because it's effective. Now, let's get with the money. When it comes to making money, you should be doing 2 things. Study basis 30 minutes every day, whether that's watching videos on how to promote sites or even reading, which, by the way, I have a really good reading list for you. I'll put it in the description. And then for 20 minutes, you should be trying to apply and study what you've actually studied, if that makes sense. Also, don't ever forget the net worth. Like Luke Belmar one time said, your net worth is not determined by how your personal value is. It's determined by that plus the access to people that you have. So you should be making some high quality brotherhood with a lot of people. And a good way to start that is by going to Discord servers, for example, or even talk to each other in the comment section and then meeting up in real life. Because these brotherhoods, they can't just stay online. They're not brotherhoods like that. However, if you find that these people online are really high quality, then you could just communicate with them online. Now, when it comes to strengths, there's 2 parts to it. First thing is muscular strength. Second thing is how you use that strength in a fight. So I'll have you summarize this because this topic is beyond the scope of this video. But basically, you should be going to a gym for 6 days a week. You could do less times if you truly don't have the time, or if you're just getting into it so that you could get used to it. But anyways, here's the workout. So for push day, you started off with bench, superset with the cable reverse splice. The reason I said bench and not incline bench is that most people, they get into incline bench because it's more aesthetic. But the problem is that in order for you to be athletic, you need to rep out your body weight when it comes to bench press. After that, you could start transitioning into incline doubles. Now, after this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna superset cable flies low to high to target the upper chest. Superset with the skull crushers, or these with the cables. These are good, bro. They train all the heads of the triceps. But the thing is, if you go to a gym for like 10 years and your arms are getting too big, you might want to transition into extensions instead, because it looks anesthetic for your long head. It may be too big. We're also gonna do dips. Superset will show the military press for the shoulders. And then finally, we're gonna do some lateral raises. And then for pull day, I'll keep it simple. You could just do pull-ups, chin-ups, incline bicep curls, and bend over rolls. And this is good enough, but if you want, you could also add RDLs or deadlift. Do RDLs more apply to it. Now, for legs, I'm starting to believe that it's better for you not to actually train the muscles at the gym, but actually do biometrics, shadow kickboxing, and agility work. Now, for your leg day, you should be doing every single day, not just in leg day, sprints for 8 sets of 30 seconds, because it's really good for your hormonal health. Because your ancestors back in the day, they used to only sprint for 2 reasons, and 2 reasons only. A lion was chasing them, or they're chasing prey. So that's why it's really good for you. Now, after you did this, you should do wall sprints and then A skips for both of them, do them for 5 sets of 30 seconds. And that's it for the leg day. Now, for the push and pull, you could do a day 1 and day 2 system if you want, by making minor adjustments to the exercises. So let's just say you want to switch chin-ups with seated cable lifts, for example, to hit the legs. You can do that as long as it works for the same muscle, but it's a different exercise. It's recommended that you do that in order for you to stop your muscle work, but it's not really a must. For the second leg day, we're doing explosiveness. Now, we're starting it off with 4 sets of 13-meter hill sprints, and then we're doing the rest of that on the exercises for 5 sets of 30 seconds. So we have depth slides, over jumps, knee jumps, open high jumps. After the leg day, you're gonna take 1 rest day, and after that, you're gonna have push, right? Now, in the push, we're actually gonna do some agility work, which basically composes of 4 different exercises. The first one, skaters. Now, for skaters, you wanna do 4 sets of 30 seconds. as well as all of the other agility exercises. And by the way, for the agility work and biometrics, you want to go as explosive as you possibly can. Now, the next thing for biometrics is side-to-side touchdowns. Now, after that, we're gonna do a movement that I'm gonna show you in a video right now, where you needle your feet and then move them outwards. And then you do full stance switches, and then you do side-to-side touchdowns. It's like, hey, do all the daily quests every single day. And 2, don't play video games and don't eat ball anywhere without any burdens. And don't just be sitting there not doing anything. The way that money comes to you, because money and everything in life in general is basically just energy. And energy is always moving. So you can't just absorb or manifest this energy when you're like this. You have to manifest it when you're always doing something. Because when you're always doing something, that actually becomes part of your mindset, and we're never wasting any time. So you'll actually be spending more time doing useful things, which will make you way more successful in everything possible. Now, if you reach till the end of the video, know that you're a real one, because now you know how to transform your life using the system. Which, by the way, there's an app being developed for it that I'm going to share with you later in the comment sections once it's actually finished. And you also have a good attention span, better than the average TikTok motherfucker. So anyways, bro, this is it for the video. See you later. Allah Akbar.